In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on October 16, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. San Francisco 49ers versus Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons and San Francisco 49ers square off Sunday in Week 6 NFL action from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The 49ers are 3-2 on the young season so far and coming off a big win over the Panthers. As for Atlanta, they're sitting at 2-3 so far. The Falcons took a 6-point loss to the Buccaneers in their last game. San Francisco is 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 in Week 6 and 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 after an against the spread win. The 49ers are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 versus the NFC. Meanwhile, the Falcons are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 overall and 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 after an against the spread win. Atlanta is 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 versus the NFC. We've got an interesting NFC matchup here as the Atlanta Falcons host the San Francisco 49ers. Not too many people projected the Falcons to be competent, but right now they're the only team in the league that is still perfect against the spread, and I think they can make it 6-0 shillings for a few reasons. For starters, it's just a bad spot for the 49ers. They're coming off a big win over the Panthers and are now playing their second game on the East Coast with an early kickoff in a row. They're also dealing with a ton of injuries, particularly on defense. Star pass rusher Nick Bosa went down in the win over Carolina and is highly questionable for this one. Fellow defensive line starters Javon Kinlaw and Eric Armstead also didn't practice on Wednesday. Starting cornerback Emmanuel Mosley had a pick 6 against Baker Mayfield, but he tore an ACL later in the game. San Francisco could be tired and shorthanded against a Falcons team that's a lot better than most realize. Atlanta is 2-3 and could easily be a lot better. They blew a 15-point fourth quarter lead in Week 1 and had chances to beat the Rams and Bucs late on the road in their other losses. Arthur Smith is cooking up some really fun stuff in the run game, which could have some success with the 49ers defensive front being so banged up. The passing game also looks set to get a boost as it appears Kyle Pitts will return from his hamstring injury for this one. There's a lot to like about how the Falcons have fared against good competition this season, covering the spread in all of their games so far, and I believe that trend continues as a home underdog against San Francisco. So the Atlanta Falcons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Jimmy Garoppolo looks like he's finding his groove again in Kyle Shanahan's offense, and he's coming off a really good game on the road against a tough Panthers defense. The 49ers are really banged up on defense, and the Falcons have a very underrated offense. Drake London looks like a potential future star, and their offensive line is playing the best it has in years. Atlanta's defense, on the other hand, is pretty underwhelming. They've given up at least 20 points in all 5 of their games and can't generate much of a pass rush. If Garoppolo has time to throw, Shanahan will scheme up plenty of open receivers. The 49ers dropped 37 points last week, so they should be able to score enough to help send this one past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Jets versus Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers play host to the New York Jets on Sunday afternoon in a crucial AFC versus NFC showdown from Wisconsin. The Jets have been one of the league's best surprises this season, and with 2 wins in a row, they'll be looking to spring the upset on the road. For the Packers, it has been a season filled with ups and downs, but after last week's loss, they'll be eyeing a win in this one. Green Bay is a 7.5-point favorite, but there's little doubt that this could end up being a close game. The Jets are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games in October. The Packers are 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games in October and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. The over is 13-6 in Jets' last 19 games overall. The under under is 6-1 in Packers' last 7 games in Week 6. The road team is 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. The New York Jets have won 2 straight and are coming off a 40-17 victory over a short-handed Miami Dolphins squad, but the Jets have displayed a better defense over the last 2 games, allowing an average of only 18.5 points per game. Green Bay has struggled to put up the number of points the Packers are used to, and much of that is because Aaron Rodgers is throwing to a much less experienced receivers core led by Randall Cobb. Through 5 games, Rodgers has passed for only 1,157 yards for an average of 231.4 yards per game and an average per completion of only 6.9 yards. This makes it hard for the Packers to run away and hide from any opponent, and is good evidence of why they are just 3-2 straight up 2-3 against the spread. Packers QB Rodgers has an injury to his right thumb, which the signal caller says will not affect his handling of the ball, but one never knows. I'm not a big believer in the New York Jets, but they're finding ways to win, and they have a lot of young players who are getting after it. The Green Bay Packers are the better team, but the passing game isn't as effective as it's been in years past, and their defense can't stop the run. Also, the Packers are fresh off a trip to London, and that travel and quick turnaround can't be great on the players. Laying a full touchdown seems to be a bit rich given how the Packers are playing and the travel. So the New York Jets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Green Bay is scoring an average of only 19 points per game, and the Packers are giving up even less at 19 points per game. Green Bay is allowing an average of only 126.4 yards per game rushing and face a New York offense that is generating only 97 yards per game on the ground. New York has been successful through the air, averaging 259 yards per game passing, but Green Bay's defense is allowing an average of only 177 yards per game through the air. The total has finished under in 6 of the last 8 games that the Jets have played on the road against a team with a winning home record. The Jets have a defensive line that has caused havoc this season, and that should allow them to slow down the Packers through the air. On the ground, both teams have a pair of running backs that will allow them to focus on controlling the clock and the game, as opposed to the big plays. Additionally, the under is 6-1 for the Packers in their last 7 Week 6 games, and 8-2 in their last 10 games in October. This will be one of Sunday's lowest scoring games, and between 2 strong defenses, as well as the need to control the clock, points and big plays will be few and far between. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New England Patriots versus Cleveland Browns. It is not often that you have been able to say this, but the New England Patriots are last in the AFC East with a 2-3 record this season. They are coming off of a 29-0 home shutout victory over the Detroit Lions on Sunday. Rookie quarterback Bailey Zappi had a decent game as he finished going 1-7 of 2-1 for 188 yards with a touchdown and an interception. The Cleveland Browns are looking to bounce back as they are tied for second in the AFC North with a 2-3 record and are looking to bounce back at First Energy Stadium on Sunday afternoon. The Browns are riding a 2-game losing streak as they lost at home on Sunday to the Los Angeles Chargers 30-28. Jacoby Brissett did not have a great game last week as he finished completing 2 of 3 passes for 230 yards with a touchdown and an interception through the air, as well as running 3 times for 32 yards. The mad genius that is Bill Belichick should never be underestimated, and we watched him take a good but not great defense and turn it into a powerhouse against the highest scoring team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. He stifled every Lions offensive weapon, dominated on both sides of the ball, and left the Patriots 2-0 against the spread in their last 2 games. Meanwhile, the Browns are coming off back-to-back heartbreaking losses, 0-2 against the spread, and are tasked with scoring against a defensive scheme designed by one of the greatest in the game. But as great as the Patriots' defense played last week, the victory was more about Belichick scheming against Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. While he may have an advantage over Kevin Stefanski and Jacoby Brissett, the Browns' offensive weapons are a lot stronger than those of a Lions team missing their top weapons. The Patriots allowed 24.5 points per game heading into last week and now have to stop Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt with a defense that ranks 28th against the run. Given the dynamic and differing styles of both running backs, that will not be an easy task. Cleveland also struggles against the run, which means you can bet Ramondre Stevenson will be busy. Unfortunately, the Patriots are likely to be without Damian Harris, which means rookie Pierre Strong may also be needed as a change of pace. Quarterback Bailey Zappi has had some shining moments recently, but this Browns secondary has shown marked improvement as their cornerbacks and safeties continue to get back to full health. So while Belichick may try to throw the Browns off with more passing, its effectiveness may be in question. This game should be slow and methodical, and it is likely remain close until the very end. So the Cleveland Browns to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This game features two of the best rushing offenses in the game, with the Browns ranking first overall and the Patriots ninth. All four of the top running backs involved have been wildly productive for their respective offenses, and the assumption coming into this week's game is that we will see a continued abundance of groundwork, even with New England's Damian Harris injured and Bill Belichick's propensity to zig when everyone believes he will zag. While it shouldn't be a surprise to see the under hit for the Patriots in 3 out of 5 games, the under is just 1 to 4 in games played by the Browns this season. The key factor in the over-hitting in 4 of 5 Browns games is their defense. Injuries have plagued both the pass rush and the secondary, allowing the middling offenses of the Steelers, Jets, and Panthers to score more points on them than expected. Now with a healthy Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett up front, as well as safety Grant Delpit, this defense has looked significantly better over the last 2 games. They may even get back cornerback Greedy Williams, which could be huge for them. The Patriots are set to do what they do best. They will scratch and claw against the opposition, and Belichick will scheme to take away their top offensive weapons. That will put a lot of pressure on their front 7 this week, and if cornerback Jonathan Jones, questionable with an ankle issue, can't go, we could see Cleveland pushing them around a little more than they are used to seeing. New England will continue to try and protect their rookie quarterback and keep him in third and manageables as much as possible. While the Browns have surprisingly been one of the higher-scoring teams in the league, Brissett has been less and less accurate in recent weeks, and New England's offense will not produce major points to force them to abandon the ground game. 2 rushing teams that will look to chew up the clock will undoubtedly shorten this game. Expect a tight game that will be decided by a field goal, and ball control and possession will be vital. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.